Hey guys, so we're going to do a little Q&A today whilst we're driving in a motorhome. I know a few of you have put some questions to us that you want some answers to, so Lindsay's got the questions there. Let's go about it and see if we can answer them all for you. What do you got, Linz?
Got some really interesting questions actually, really like meaty ones.
Okay.
So it's cool. So Peter Smith asks, with the interest in UK staycations and more families than ever entering the motorhome market, it might be interesting for you guys to share your top 5 campsites.
That's like having to choose our favourite child, isn't it?
We don't really have top 5 campsites because there are very few that we keep going back to. So the best campsite is the one where we want to be, if that makes sense.
And we don't do campsites a great deal. We like a lot of wild camping and airs and car parks and just interesting stops on the beach and what have you. There is one particular one we often stop off on the way down to Wales, which is Lincoln Farm Park. Certainly one of our favourites for a few years. A couple of reasons that's one of our favourites. It's about an hour into our journey down to South Wales where we go to see my family, and often we'll pick the kids up on a Friday and from school, and then an hour into the journey they're hungry, they want some tea, so it's a great stop off to stop at Lincoln Farm Park, where they've also got 2 pools, and if you're clever and you book in advance, you can rent a pool privately to yourself for an hour. So it's a clever tip for Lincoln Farm Park. Unfortunately this year with the COVID situation, the pools were shut, so we didn't actually go down to Wales with Wales being shut, so we didn't visit Lincoln Farm Park this year, but there's one of our top ones. But
that's 100% about location, isn't it?
Yeah, on the way down it's Oxfordshire. Let's look at some of the stops that we've done on this trip.
Well, I was gonna say there are other types of stops that we use depending on the kind of holiday we're doing. We do like Haven, don't we? We enjoy going to, we can't spend a full week there, it would drive us all a bit crazy, but we enjoy going to the big campsites where they've got entertainment and pools, and we'll probably have 24, 48 hours of full-on activities. So they're great.
Great for the kids.
Yeah.
You know.
But then with this trip, the best stops that we've had have been car parks.
Car parks,
as
absolutely.
Well. One in the centre of Bath was brilliant location for going out for a great walk around Bath, and the air. I'm going to call it an air in Portsmouth. Sure. I think we can elevate it to air status.
It's a free one in Portsmouth as well. It's fantastic. You just need to ring the number. All the details will be below, but you ring the number when you get there, you let them know your number plate and your name and your phone number, and you can stay there for certainly for 24, maybe even 48 hours that you can stay there for. So that's one that we stayed at down in Portsmouth this time. Glastonbury, we loved wild camping at Stonehenge. We loved the wild camping at Stonehenge, didn't we?
Yes.
When you pull on that lane, it's quite a famous spot for people to do wild camping, and I don't know if you saw some of the photos and the video, but we were parked right at Stonehenge. And again, that's a free one, and I think you can stay there for up to 72 hours.
There's another free one that we like in Portugal. Yeah, it's just south of Lisbon.
What we probably class as our favourite stop ever, which is on the beach. We stumbled across it, didn't we? And it's on the beach. In Portugal, and we stayed there for a couple of days, and the kids played out on the beach until it was like really late, and it was just a fabulous stop there. So I'll put some photos up of that and put a link to where that one is there. Again, we find these on search for sites. We find many of these stops. Search for sites.co.uk, also wildcamping.co.uk. It's good for finding some wild camping spots as well. So there's 2 tips for you. Maybe have a look at searchforsites.co.uk and wildcamping.co.uk. I think the wild camping for getting the points of interest there, it's a small annual subscription fee, but well worth it for everything you get in your membership. So take a look at them too.
Yeah. My actual favourite campsite ever was in Croatia, the tiny weeny little one.
yeah.
A private home or a holiday home owned by a family.
5 pitches only.
And a pool. It was just lovely. It was absolutely glorious. We made friends with a Dutch family, a German family. Spent the time in the pool. It was just the most relaxed,
absolutely
chilled out I think we've ever been. It was very much like having your own private villa and pool, wasn't it?
Yep.
With everything we needed that we brought from home. So, in answer to the question, we can't do a top 5 sites because it depends on our mood, where we're going, and what we want to get out of the holiday, unfortunately.
But hopefully that'll give you a bit better of an idea.
Yeah, and some ideas of where to go and look for them as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Jose has commented and asked, we've just bought a caravan as we were put off motorhomes due to the lack of family layouts available. With many more families entering the leisure market, do you think manufacturers will respond? What were the compromises you made with your motorhome as a family with regards to layout? If new layouts appear, what would you want to see?
Well, we've had a few motorhomes now, and if you want to see all the motorhomes we've had and the different layouts, then go onto our website, roamingradfords.com, and there's on the About Us page that we show all the vehicles we've had. The layout we got now is probably the most popular one we've had. I think we've had 3 or 4 vans with a similar layout where we've got the rear lounge, sleeping up above the cab, and then in the midships you've got the dinette and the kitchen there, which also turns into a bed.
Yeah.
So we've had 3 or 4 motorhomes with this similar layout. This being the slightly longer version, the kon-tiki 649.
What I would say is, I actually don't think that that it's very difficult to find a family layout. You have to choose, do you want more space during the day, or do you want a more permanent nighttime solution? For us, we want more daytime flexibility. So within this van, we've got 3 areas that we can all go into and do different things. In our 2016, the Itineo SB740,
we got that. That was motorhome. That was family motorhome of the year. I think 2015. 16.
I can't remember. It was the 2000. It was the year we got it.
We were sold. I think the year before we got it, but we were sold on that layout, and it worked for us as 5.
Yeah, it had 5 travelling seat belts, 5 beds, and the boys all had a bed each, a single bed. It was bunk beds, and then you made the bottom bunk into an extra single bed right next to the first one, and it was great. But when our niece came with us, we couldn't expand to 6.
So we had to sell that. We'd had that 18 months. I think we did 12,000 miles.
And in that, the boys' bedroom, it was a bedroom for the boys, actually it turned into a living room for the boys as well. So they could
had their own little space, didn't they?
And that was great.
But this layout that we have right now is the perfect layout for us as a family of 5.
Yes, for the daytime use that we want. I don't mind making the beds up at night. In fact, we don't even make the beds up at night. We use the lounge as 2 singles for Steve and I, and their sofas ready waiting to go during the day as well. So
unless we're having a movie night and where everyone wants to snuggle up, we turn it into a big bed, and then you may have seen some photos, and we'll snuggle up and watch a movie at night. So that works for us, this layout, doesn't it? And often we don't change the dinette into a bed because George sleeps on the sofa opposite, Eddie and Harry sleep up top, and me and Lynn sleep at the back there.
When we did have a caravan as well, and that goes on to the next question. Do you ever think of towing a small, this was from Guy. Hey Guy, he's a top fan. Do you ever think of towing a small car that could hold the family, hold our family, so you could explore smaller roads, tracks and villages where you might struggle with the motorhome? Would you consider towing a caravan, then use the car for days out? And would the boys consider a tent when they're abroad? So we'll come back to the tent bit, but the caravan issue, we have had a caravan before. And that layout for the boys' sleeping area and for the boys' area was fantastic. It had fixed bunk beds on one side and then a dinette that turned into bunk beds on the other side as well. So it would have been 4.
Big bathroom at the end.
Yeah, but would have been 4 single beds. And that was great. But we had more of an effort making our bed up in the front, which was a big deal. We're quite happy to do that.
The ideal scenario is to have a motorhome and a caravan. But we prefer the motorhome because we generally do 1 night here, 1 night there, 2 nights here. We like wild camping, and you just can't do that in a caravan. If we were holidayers that like to go into a campsite for a week, then a caravan would be much more suited with a car to go out and about. And we've had that kind of holiday. But what's right for us right now is the motorhome we got.
And I think in non-COVID times, we've not found a campsite that we can't get where we want to go by bus or by going for a little walk.
And take Bath, for instance. We parked in the car park, £15 overnight for 24 hours. We parked right in the centre of Bath, so we could just walk around Bath without even taking a taxi or a bus in there. So,
well, I was thinking back to Italy and some of the towns we wanted to go to.
Florence.
And teeny weeny towns with teeny weeny streets and overhangs. And actually, Florence has a great, well, it was new when we first went there, so it's 3 or 4 years old now.
We've been there
campsites, it had a gorgeous pool. Not a lot of shade at that point, but that will mature and come in. But the bus went straight into the centre of Florence, and I think actually that gave us more flexibility. We don't like spending a lot of money on campsites in towns unless we're going to be at the campsite for a long time. We're happy to pay for campsites if the campsite's the main part of our holiday.
let's address the tent.
And the tent.
The tent. We have taken the tent and considered using the tent in the past in Europe. However, the boys, it's just too hot in a tent in 35, 40 degree heat to sleep in a tent, and we've got the air conditioning, so the boys would prefer to be in an air conditioned motorhome rather than out in a tent. But we did discuss that, and we have taken a tent but not used one as yet.
And then my babies, I don't want anyone stealing my babies while we're asleep. Sorry. Okie dokie. Okay, one last question for today, I think, and again it's very similar location, layout, similar kind of question. We've just bought a kon-tiki. This is English 1966, so it must be a football fan. We've just bought a 2018 kon-tiki Swift 669. Basically the same as yours, but with the island bed.
Yep.
We want to travel everywhere in it. Question is, because it's large, have you ever regretted buying the van you have?
Definitely not. We love this van. Go and take a look at some of our summer videos. Actually, we've explained in one or two of them from the this year's summer trip that some of the restrictions we've come across. You know, yeah, we have turned up at campsites, and yeah, we haven't been able to fit on, but that's okay. We'll move on to the next campsite, and often there's a place for us. So yeah, we have been up against it a few times and been turned away because of the size. I remember one in Italy. We pulled up and she said, "We don't allow your type here." Like, what do you mean?
English.
The twin wheels, the twin wheels. So it was the tag axles that they didn't really have the room for. So there are a few campsites out there like that, but there's many more that will fit you on. So, and we're also restricted when we go into towns, aren't we?
Yeah.
With
but
big
again,
cities.
In non-COVID times, we're quite happy to jump on a bus and go and it adds to the experience. In fact, our boys hadn't been on a bus until one of our first trips abroad.
That was Florence.
I can't remember. Well, there was also when we went to Villanova.
Yes, definitely.
It was a train and a bus. They were blown away by public transport.
That was a double-decker train as well, wasn't it?
It was. It was so exciting for them.
So, in answer to your question, no.
There are always more options.
There are always more options.
There's always more. As long as you don't let that stress you out.
The benefits way outweigh the negatives about having an 8.5 metre motorhome. So no, we love it. The size is perfect for us right now.
Would we do this as our retirement? Would we go this size?
Well, we've already discussed that, and yeah,
We're torn.
Do you want to know what our dream van when it's just me and Lindsay is at the minute? Go and look it up. It's a Delux Grand Alpha. We really like the look of the Delux Grand Alpha.
It's like a luxury apartment on wheels, which I love. But the downside to that is the driving will probably be 100% down to you.
I don't mind. That's good. That's good.
I can always drive. I can drive it, and that's the other thing.
Lindsay's got the C1 on her licence as well, so yes, she can drive this.
Yes.
And anything else up to 7.5 tonne. But I like to do the driving.
Yeah. And I like not to do the driving.
So we're going to wrap it up there on this Q&A. I mean, we're what, 15, 16 minutes in?
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope it answered. I think they were really interesting questions. There were questions that we could discuss rather than just give you an answer.
We haven't answered all the questions at this stage, but you keep them coming. We'll do another Q&A if you like this.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the questions.
Thanks for the questions. Tune in next time.
See you.
Bye.